As to count 2, premeditated first-degree murder, how does the jury find?
Guilty, Your Honor.
We begin with breaking news in the Steven Wiggins murder trial tonight. The jury delivering a guilty verdict on all 10 counts against the man charged with killing a Dixon County deputy and setting his patrol car on fire with him inside. The defense resting today without calling a single witness or Wiggins taking the stand. His attorney never denying Wiggins pulled the trigger, killing Sergeant Daniel Baker, but said it was not premeditated. The prosecution said he planned all of this out.
Sergeant Baker is ambushed by Steven Wiggins. Steven Wiggins made the decision to pull that handgun, that high point, out from under that seat or wherever else it was in that car. And as Sergeant Baker approached the passenger side, without warning, without provocation, he fires his weapon.
He could have rolled down his window and fired from his side of the car, and he didn't for 6 minutes. And I submit that shows he wasn't planning to, because he didn't. If he was sitting there with that intention, he could have done it at any time.
The jury will return Saturday for the sentencing phase, and that includes the death penalty.
Thousands of people are here for the Music City Grand Prix this weekend. Earlier today, we saw large crowds, and you can see behind me the Korean Veterans Bridge. That's where they'll be racing tomorrow. But most people I spoke with tell me they aren't concerned about the recent surge in cases.
More than 150,000 people are expected to fill the stands at Music City's first ever Grand Prix.
This is wonderful. It's good to see people out and about in Nashville having a wonderful time today.
This comes as the state's Commissioner of Health says there's been a surge in pediatric and adult COVID-19 cases over the past few weeks. Dr. Lisa Piercy says the Delta variant could be 2 to 3 times more contagious than previous variants. I asked attendees if they're concerned about the Delta variant.
No, I'm not. Not at all. You live your life. I'm doing all I can. I'm vaccinated. I'm trying to be respectful of my fellow neighbors, but I can't not live my life.
Others feel a bit differently.
Yeah, of course I am, but I'm fully vaccinated, so I'm good.
It is concerning. It is concerning, but I think we're being cautious, and we have our mask when we get into a big group. We put it on.
I reached out to the state health department to ask if health leaders are concerned with the large crowds as we see a rise in COVID-19 cases. A spokesperson tells me in addition to the COVID-19 vaccine, there are other ways to protect yourself. We encourage mask wearing, especially if you are high risk, social distancing guidelines, and washing your hands often. I asked again if there's a concern. I did not receive a response. Grand Prix fans aren't too concerned about the large crowds.
I'm fine. I mean, it's good that things are going back to normal and stuff. So
I was a little concerned with the pandemic ramping back up, but the people are distanced enough apart that I feel comfortable.
Now, there is some good news on the vaccination front. There's been a 90% increase in first doses among Tennesseans. Still, less than half of Tennesseans are fully vaccinated.
Standing on the top of the wonderful Hampton Social, it's down near the riverfront downtown area. And right behind us here, we have one of the key parts of this races. I'm talking about the Korean Veterans Memorial Bridge. And the bridge is a major part of everything going on because the drivers are going to be racing over the Cumberland River. Here's a look at the track from our Fox 17 News Sky Eye. The race will include a course around Nissan Stadium before going across the bridge heading downtown. And this track is very unique one for IndyCar drivers. And of course, this weekend, what would it be without weather? And Greg, I gotta say, the rain really made a big difference for right now, though.
Cool us down for right now, and the good news is I've tweaked the forecast a little bit for rain on Sunday. That's the big day. I mean, we can handle heat and humidity. We're Nashville. We know how that works. But if you have rain during the actual race, we can't have water on the roads. So let's take a look at where we're at right now, where we go for the rest of this evening, and of course we'll talk going up into Sunday as well. We have had a little action on the radar so far this evening. Right now, though, things are looking pretty good on Doppler radar. I'm going to call us in the all clear for code red. Now, yes, it will be hotter starting tomorrow. Temperatures back up near 90. Heat index values will climb, but no severe weather. There could be a shower or storm tomorrow, and we're going to get into that with Future Track. We're back to reality. We're warmer, we've got the heat, we've got the humidity we're going to build through over the course of the next 48 hours. Temps right now, though, are beautiful, though. So for the rest of this evening, you can't ask for better than 70s and low 80s with low humidity on a Friday night in early August in Nashville. It's not that bad at all, and that's how we're going to stay. What do we feel like? The real feel temps. This is the best part. We actually feel a degree or two cooler thanks to the breeze and the actual air temperature. This is the rest of the weekend for you. Going into tomorrow and then the big day. Race day on Sunday. 4:30 is when the race begins. We're going to be at 94 toasty degrees. But I've got rain out of the forecast. So coming up in a few, we'll work through those rain chances we have for Saturday, and then we'll kind of dive a little deeper into Sunday.
That 1 degree makes a big difference.
Really
All right,
does.
we're going to send it back to Scott Couch in the studio.
Thanks, guys. Glad to hear that the rain's hopefully going to stay away for the race. Nissan Stadium right now looks a lot different than it normally does. It this weekend is playing host to the pit crews for the inaugural Music City Grand Prix. Fun to say that. Fox 17 Sports' Jill Jelnick live in the heart of the action with what race fans can expect this weekend.
Scott, you said it. We are smack dab in the middle of all the action for the Music City Grand Prix. Check out what's right behind me, pit road. And not too long ago, drivers wrapped up their first practice of the weekend. And this was an important one because it's the first time they got to try out the new street course. A little over 2 miles, 11 different turns, and that bridge that gets a little bumpy. Now, the winner coming out of today's practice, the fastest time belonged to Colton Herta. He finished his fastest lap 1 minute, 16 seconds, and 25 hundredths of a second. And he says after this first practice, going into the weekend, he's more confident than ever.
I think everybody has an idea of what adding rubber to the track down is going to do to the balance at this point with these cars. And I don't think this track's going to be any different. So we kind of know the direction that we need to go, and so you can't take a lot away from it. And obviously, driving wise, you can take away what lines and where you're braking, traction, which I was struggling a lot with. So yeah, there's quite a few things that you can kind of take away, but also a few things that'll tell you what you want to do for the next session and what you can expect the track to do as well.